Imagine waking up one day as Jesse Pinkman, unaware that your life is about to be raw-dogged by your chemistry teacher. A new father figure appears, aka Walter White, aka Heisenberg. He's dying of cancer and decides you're the perfect pawn, and so begins the world's best business partnership, threatening to get you arrested if you refuse.
Either that, or I turn you in.
You first cook with Walter, and actually, it goes great. You drive out into the desert, cook in the RV, and the result is so pure, you start thinking about being a millionaire. But you realize you have to sell it first. So you hit up Crazy 8 to show off the product and make a deal. But the second they see Walt, everything goes downhill for you. Emilio recognizes Walt, and they pull their guns, and suddenly your business pitch turns into a hostage situation. I would love to see that episode of Shark Tank, but Walt begs for his life, saying he'll show them how to cook it.
What do you say, you want to cook like me? You let us both live, and I will teach you. Huh?
Instead, he grabs some chemicals and turns the RV into a gas chamber. Phosphorus smoke fills the air and you barely make it out alive. Emilio dies on the spot, and Crazy 8 gets knocked out. Then Walter tells you to handle the cleanup, and specifically tells you to use a plastic container for the acid. But of course, who needs a plastic container when you've got a perfectly good bathroom upstairs? Moments later, acid eats through the tub, the floor, and the ceiling. Congratulations, first week on the job and you've already witnessed a double homicide and remodeled a ceiling with human soup. You're so horrified that you end up sleeping in the RV that night. After the acid disaster, you and Walt get back to cooking. The product's perfect, but you've got no one to sell it to because you killed the only distributor you knew, Crazy 8, and we get his replacement, Tuco. You tell Walt this guy's bad news, but he says you need to grow a pair.
We're making money. Why can't you just be satisfied with the way it is?
Come on! Jesus! Just grow some fucking balls!
So you man up and walk into Tuco's office with Skinny Pete acting like you know what you're doing. Tuco tries your math and he's instantly hooked. But when you ask for payment, he fills a bag with cash just to break your ribs with it.
Nobody moves crystal in the South Valley but me, bitch!
Walter sees what Tuco did and decides it's time to handle it his way. He walks straight into Tuco's office, drops a bag of what looks like meth, and blows the place sky high. And instead of getting mad, it turns Tuco on. He loves it, pays Walt on the spot, and doubles the order. Meanwhile, you're laying in a hospital bed, half dead, and somehow you now work for a psychopath who just got seduced by an explosion. But wait, there's more, because things get worse from there. The DEA raids Tuco's crew and he becomes convinced someone snitched on him. So he shows up out of nowhere, throws you in the trunk of your own car, and kidnaps both of you.
Chill right, retard. I got a clean check. Now get out.
But he doesn't care much about you or if you live any, only Walter. So you guys try to poison him, but his bell-ringing uncle weirdo tips him off. He nearly beats you to death before you manage to grab his gun. Then you hear a car pull up and think it's Tuco's cousins coming to finish you off, but turns out it's Hank. He walks in, trades bullets with Tuco, and then bam, headshot. Hank is a sharpshooter, and you and Walt walk away from the desert barely alive. But nothing about you feels alive anymore, understandably so. And just when you think life can't possibly get worse, it does. One second you're asleep, the next you're about to lose the only thing you had to your name, your aunt's house. Your parents, the morally righteous champions of hypocrisy, swoop in like the house-flipping vultures they are and kick you out like you're radioactive.
You decided to, I don't know, make your eldest son homeless? Wow, great family, Mom!
Congrats, you're now homeless, so you try to stay at a friend's place, but no one wants to have a drug dealer in their crib, so you are left with jumping fences and falling down toilets, all to sleep in an RV that is so poisonous that you need to wear a gas mask to survive. What is your life? I am so sorry. After losing your house, you start apartment hunting. That's when you meet the cute goth baddie with visible daddy issues, and somehow she lets you rent the place. For the first time in a long time, you can finally catch a break. You've got your own place, a cute landlord next door, and Walt hasn't tried to emotionally manipulate you in at least 48 hours. That's pretty good. But since you're Jesse Pinkman, peace never lasts. A meth head named Spooge robs Skinny Pete, and of course, Walt takes it personally. He tells you to stop being a bitch and handle it, and you drag yourself over to his place. So you find Spooge and his girlfriend living in filth and squalor, surrounded by needles and trash. They promise to pay you back by cracking open a stolen ATM, but things, they go sideways Fast. You get jumped, you get knocked out, and when you wake up, Spooge is still trying to open it. But when his girlfriend doesn't like the word skank, she shoves the ATM and you witness Spooge's head getting crushed. Congrats, that's more trauma added to your list. But before you can even process what had happened, your old friend Combo gets caught selling on the wrong corner because Mr. Heisenberg wanted to expand. So a kid rolls up on a bike, pulls out a gun, and just like that, you've got one less friend. After Combo's death, you start falling apart. The only thing keeping you from losing your mind is Jane next door. And soon, it's not just love holding you together, it's meth. Nothing says soulmates quite like doing crystal with your loved ones. I would know from experience. But anyway, enough about me. You spiral right back into drugs, and Walt refuses to give you your share because you will just waste it on more drugs. But Jane, she threatens Walt, girl bossing, saying she will expose him if he doesn't hand over your money.
What is this? What? Some kind of blackmail or something?
This is me telling you to do right by Jesse and bring him what you owe him. I don't call that blackmail.
Walt finally gives you your money, but when he comes into your apartment later to make peace, he finds you both passed out. During this, he accidentally flips your lover onto her back and she starts choking on her own vomit. And instead of Walt saving her, he does absolutely nothing about it. And when you find her dead, you blame yourself for her death. And this guilt eats you for a very long time.
I killed her. It was me. I got her back.
But wait, you really thought this was the worst it could get? Walt decides to get rid of your RV during all of this. You don't like this idea, so you do the dumbest thing possible and lead Hank to a gold mine of evidence that could end both of your lives. Hank's pounding on the door while Walt is having a full-blown panic attack. He better call Saul, who saves the day by faking a hospital call about Hank's wife getting into an accident.
Is this Mr. Henry R. Schrader?
Yeah, who's this?
Sir, this is Officer Elaine Tanner with the Albuquerque Police. I'm sorry to inform you that your wife's been in an automobile accident.
And then Hank bolts like the Flash. You can pick which one, there's so many. And when he realizes he's been played, he absolutely loses it. He storms to your place, kicks down the door, and beats you within an inch of your life.
Christ! You have my cell phone number? You have my wife's name? How'd you do it?
Achievement unlocked. Get your face remodeled by a DEA agent. And while you're still recovering from getting your face turned into modern art, Walt's already cooking up his next disaster. Oh boy. His selfishness doesn't stop at your girlfriend's death. It's practically his whole personality. Gus is training Gale to replace both of you, and Walt realizes his time is running out. So he comes up with the perfect plan. Time to guilt trip my puppy into killing Gale for me.
Leverage keeps me alive. It keeps you alive, too. I think I can see to that. If I'm the only chemist that he's got.
So he tells you that Gale's gotta go, or else Gus will kill you both. With Walt gone, you're pretty much useless to Gus too, so boom, you shoot Gale to save yourself. After killing Gale, Gus's men drag you and Walt back to the lab. You're both sitting there, waiting to find out which one of you gets your throat slit first. Walt thinks cooking meth will save his life, so he begs Mike to let him cook, but Victor decides he's Heisenberg 2.0 and wants a spinoff and starts cooking on his own. Then Gus finally shows up. He puts on his lab coat like he's about to grade a science project and slices Victor's throat open with a box cutter. Everybody's so shocked, including Mike, and in this moment you realize a boring 9-to-5 would have been a better thing than this. And just so overwhelmed to cope with the never-ending guilt, you throw non-stop house parties just to drown out the sound of your conscience. When the noise begins to die down and you realize how filthy and disgusting the party crashers have made your life, you crash out and kick everybody out. After that, you start trying to piece yourself back together by staying sober and returning to cooking meth. But then comes a temporary side quest. You actually find some respect under Mike. For 5 whole minutes, you feel useful. Then Gus drags you all the way to Mexico to show off your skills like you're the Gordon Ramsay of meth. I would watch that show. But you've got no idea if you'll come back with a paycheck or a bullet in your head. But Gus being Gus, he poisons the entire cartel mid-celebration. You make it out alive, but plot twist, Walt notices, and Walt doesn't share custody. If you have a life outside of him, the control is gone. So Walt plays his dirtiest card yet. So to stay clean, you begin attending Narcotics Anonymous meetings, but everything changes when you meet Andrea Cantillo. You briefly rediscover a sense of care through Andrea and her son Brock. She opens up about her little brother, Tomas, until you find out he's the one who killed Combo. Then one day, Tomas ends up dead too. something in you snaps. You find a gun, find the dealers, and try to do what feels right for once. But before they can fill you with bullets, Walter shows up and runs them over with his car. And just when you think things can't get any darker, Walt proves there's no line he won't cross to win custody. He secretly poisons Brock, frames Gus by planting suspicion of ricin, and watches you implode with fury at the monster who'd target a kid. But in reality, that monster was Walt all along, using your love for a child just to get you back under his thumb. What is your life, seriously?
Why, in God's name, would I poison a child?
To get back at me! Because I'm helping Gus!
But after Gus's death, you think you're finally free. But as long as Walt's breathing, you're still on the leash. Walt pulls the us against the world card and you're back in business. Here comes your next quest, a train heist with perfect execution. You're riding the high of not screwing up for once, but Todd, the sociopath, cuts that celebration short by killing a literal child.
No! No! No!
That single gunshot echoes in your head for days. Everyone else moves on like it's business as usual, but you can't do that. You can still see the kid's face every time you close your eyes. You don't want any part of this anymore. You try to sell the methylamine, walk away, and try to start fresh. But Walter, he doesn't do fresh starts. He kills the deal and drags you right back into hell. But once your frontal lobe finally develops, you start connecting the dots here. Mike was one of the few people you truly trusted, and Walt goes ahead and kills him. It leaves a big impact on you because Mike was another father figure in your life. With Mike gone, you finally start to see Walt for who he really is, a man who destroys everything and everyone around you. Later, you find out who actually poisoned Brock, and the Heisenberg you thought wouldn't stoop this low actually stooped that low.
And over that asshole, Mr. White! He poisoned Brock! He poisoned Brock, and you helped him!
That was the ultimate betrayal for you. So you begin working with Hank of all people to take down Walt. But plot twist, Hank uses you as bait too. Out in the desert, Walt shows up with the neo-Nazi squad. Oh God, things have gotten desperate. And Hank gets clapped. Walt wins. And you're delivered straight into slavery by your Mr. White. You probably thought this was it. But no, for maximum cruelty, Walt throws Jane's death in your face, revealing he watched her choke and did nothing.
I watched Jane die. I was there, and I watched her die. I watched her overdose and choke to death.
The emotional damage level is above any charts. Jack's gang chains you in the lab while you're starved, tortured, treated like an animal, and forced to cook meth. Remember Tuco? The gang knows you need a reason to obey. So Todd shows you a photo of your girlfriend and her kid, making it clear they can reach them anytime. And later on, when you try to escape, Todd makes good on the threat and kills your girlfriend in front of you to send a message.
Just so you know, this isn't personal.
If you don't cooperate, Brock is next. Andrea's death devastates you since she was the last person after Jane and Mike who gave you a sense of family and stability. With her gone, you realize that everyone you love ends up dead. After Andrea is killed, you stop fighting back and cook meth obediently, like a prisoner with no will left. But then, Walt returns with a machine gun in his trunk. He makes the gang think he's here to negotiate business, but as soon as they step into the room with you, Walt tackles you to the ground and shoots the entire gang. After the shootout, you have the chance to kill your manipulator, Walt. He even offers you the gun, but for the first time ever, you refuse to stay Walt's pawn. Then Walt tosses you the keys to Todd's El Camino. You drive through the gates screaming and letting out years of abuse, and you finally feel free. But when you finally reach out to the people who should have loved you no matter what, they try to hand you to the police. And it's the final confirmation that you were never meant to have a home.
Yo, Skinny, why are you doing all this? Dude, you're my hero and shit.
So let's take a look at your final stats, shall we? Actual parents sold you for real estate. Father figures, you got 3, all 3 died. Girlfriends, both died. Character recommendation? For the plot, absolutely. But in real life, hard pass. But anyway, folks, thank you all so much for watching the video. This was a really fun one to do. Hopefully your life resembles nothing like Jesse Pinkman. I pray for you. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, consider watching another one. Press a button. Press all the buttons that YouTubers ask you to press. But thanks for watching. Have a good one. And bye-bye.